am I the asshole for being at my breaking point with my husband's made up language?
Damn.
I'll say
I mean,
fuck it. Oh, wait, you're not the asshole. Yeah, not the asshole.
I was like, oh, shit, let's
I'll say
go.
he's probably fucking annoying.
Sean's like, I love my made up gabagool.
Gabagool.
As someone being in a relationship with a bunch of like made up languages, like, you know, it doesn't bother me. But if that's something that's been talked about a bunch of times and your partner continually ignores your pleas about it, then you're not the asshole for being. It takes a lot to get in, you know, a breaking point at some point. So like I'm going no with this one.
All right, let's hop into it. Sorry, I had to look up what this means.
Gabagool.
No.
It's a classic traditional Italian dish.
Is it really?
Nah, I have no fucking clue.
I actually don't know what it means either, but no, the first sentence says my OH, which I had to look up, and it's my other half. That's what it means.
Oh,
so
that was my only husband. I hope so.
That's what So my other half has always been a bit goofy, giving his own names to things and doing impressions. About 18 months ago, this started to increase a lot.
Sorry. Gabagool is an Italian cold cut, also known as capicola. I've heard that. I've heard of capicola.
I have heard that as well, yeah.
Technically a dish, right?
It is.
Technically,
You could put it on a dish.
I'm never wrong, guys.
Interesting.
I think it's something we're learning.
So it's now a constant presence in our life, and I'm finding it difficult to live with. For example, and I apologies if I mispronounce any of these made up words, he has his own names for retail outlets, professionals, organizations, etc. So, for example, Eat Your Greens is Walgreens. Sharts and Gobles is Barnes and Nobles. And he has about 30 to 40 everyday words that he insists on using in place of normal ones. Scuppers with a rising whistle at the end means yes. Bing with a descending whistle means no. And Baba Yaya means good night.
Was this one of those
like
video
Sim,
game
baby.
posts? Like, is this also
He
Sims?
sounds like he's from The Sims.
He does sound like from the. It's not from The Sims. I will spoil that for you guys.
Gabba gabba.
He constantly does weird sound impersonations, not like celebrities or characters, but a single noise that's a made-up sound of something childish like a fart from a child's TV show. He speaks random words like garbage or douchebag whilst burping or farting. He has made up names for our friends, which he uses sometimes even under his breath when we're out with them. For example, this is crazy. Pam and Will is Pig and Wig. I mean, I don't know if I'd love to be called
I think
Pig.
if I was Pam, I'd be quite upset.
Yeah. Depending on if Will's bald or not, Wig could be crazy as well.
That would be wild.
I've had just about enough. We got into bed the other night and I said goodnight and he said, Baga ya ya, in a high-pitched voice he always does it in. I snapped and asked why he couldn't just speak to me normally, and he just laughed and came right up into my face and did it again. His whistling is constant.
This guy is like a living ick. It's crazy. Every time he opens his mouth, I'm God.
It's like, oh, cringe. He speaks to our kid in the stupid language, and I'm worried it's going to confuse normal language development because he changes the words so often. Our toddler should be about to hurt themselves. Instead of saying no or come here, he'll say some ridiculous made-up word or sound and then get annoyed when our kid doesn't know what he wants. He's normal in other respects. He works in finance and is totally professional around his colleagues, but completely different at home. I told him it needs to stop. I don't mind it occasionally or for fun, but it's all the time and it's wearing me down. He got upset and said I couldn't take a joke and that I'm not fun anymore. It's true that I've become more irritable and noise averse since we had kids, but I'm so worn out and over it, I just want him to relate to me like an adult. They do have edit here, but I'll ask the question, am I the asshole first?
I'd be going crazy personally.
Like I get doing like made up.
Yeah, bits are fun.
Yeah.
Bits are good. But bits are good when everyone is on the same page about the bit. You know what I mean?
When it's reciprocated.
Yeah. If my wife is constantly hating a bit I'm doing and then I continue doing it, I feel like I'd be an asshole. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Especially when they ask you to stop.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I'll make an effort to try and stop. Or like, yeah. And I know John has a made up language with his wife he's mentioned before. But again, that's you two doing it together.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not like you made up all the words and force her to fucking
adapt.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of leaning on everyone sucks.
Interesting.
Really?
Okay.
Yes, it's his kind of behavior that's kind of annoying, but I think I've only heard it one time in the story where, I think the first time she says like we had a conversation was kind of when they went to bed and then she just immediately snapped about it. I mean, yes, it shouldn't have been like a continuous conversation, but I feel like she doesn't fuck with him for a long time already. Like, I just feel like she doesn't like him, like at all.
Yeah.
So, I'm going like this relationship's kind of going nowhere. I think he's kind of set the way he is. That's how he is. He's trying to be goofy. He's works in finance, probably have like stressful work environment. So he might associate home to be like, hey, I can kind of take my mask off and just be me. And I feel like him being goofy like that is the way he is. And she just doesn't like it. So I just think they're not compatible in this sense.
I don't know if I would call her. I don't know if she sucks, to be honest.
No,
Well, I'm not saying like she sucks where like she's a bad person. I'm just saying like I just don't think she likes him.
Yeah, and to be fair, it sounds like we don't truly know when she brought this up for the first time. If that was
Or
the
how
first
long
time,
he's been
or
doing this. If he's been doing this for years and years before they had kids, and it's kind of just
Yeah.
like
And if she hasn't said anything at all like throughout that time, then that's gonna be a shock on him. It's like, okay, I thought if you didn't like this, then why didn't you say something from the jump?
yeah, and I don't know if we'll like there is an edit. I don't know if that'll clarify.
Okay.
But I will say I don't like when she did bring it up, him being like, you can't take a joke.
yeah, I didn't like that. And then I like,
The pig with a will too. I'm like, that sounds kind of
The
weird.
pig and wig.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But like they had the talk, and then like it continued, and then she was like, a separate occasion right before bed was like, can you just talk to me like an adult? Then he fucking says Baba Ya whatever again. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
right, bro. You fucking suck ass, dude. Like if that's your fun time or whatever, that's cool. Do something where you could talk to people and that like you're just because your fun time is your fun. That doesn't mean you need to make it like your wife. Like especially if your partner's like, dude, that fucking shit grinds my gears. I really need you to stop doing that shit. And then you're still like, I mean, I don't, you know what I'm saying? I'd be like, shut the fuck up, dude.
Yeah.
Then they shouldn't be together.
Which is where I come to you, John, where it's just
Yeah.
like, yeah, maybe they aren't, or couples therapy could help. You know what I mean?
I mean,
Like,
because
that-
we don't know any other aspects of their life. Maybe he's chill regardless. Maybe he's a great dad. Besides that, he's just fucking loves doing this weird voice. I don't know if that's like completely breakup material.
yeah, well, it really depends if this is built up resentment.
Yeah.
then
And it
could
just
be.
sounds like she resents the fuck out of his ass at this point. This is the way she talks about him in the story. It's like, it sounds like you don't fuck with him at all anymore.
Yeah, which is like, yeah, with couples therapy, like so that you can talk about this professionally. I will say it does sound like he's fucking up his toddler's development though.
For sure.
Which is crazy
Yeah.
as well. So, but let's get into the edits and see if that does clarify anything for us as well. So edit to answer some frequent questions. Number 1, I do not believe, but I'm not health qualified, that he displays any symptoms of Tourette's, autism, neurological disorders, etc. Number 2, he is physically well by all measures. He is for sure not having a stroke or a significant physical health event. Which makes sense because he's been doing it for a while and sounds like it's ramping up. So I don't know. Number 3, yes, I could see this being a reaction to stress. Number 4, for those asking why I married him, he did not do this to this extent before we had kids. Occasionally, yes, with the occasional name or word, but not this regular. He is amazing in many ways, but this one thing is now too much for me. I don't feel it's right to discount him or throw him out or throw out the whole marriage because of it, but it does need to change. Number 5, he will not go to therapy.
See, that part is not good.
Yes. Number 6, we have discussed it calmly previously. He did not take me seriously or make changes. He sees this as a funny and just a joke. I agree that we need to talk more. So it sounds like it has been brought up previously. Number 7 and final one. Yes, it can be funny occasionally. I'm not trying to spoil his fun. I also need an adult partner at times and for him to stop when not appropriate. So I think all those things negates her for being an asshole. I will say if he doesn't go to therapy, then the marriage might end.
Yeah. That's kind of the
rightfully so.
Like the general, like I don't know. My first time hearing it, I wasn't getting like she fucking hates this dude. You know what I mean? It just sounds like he's annoying. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got that she was starting to resent him though.
Oh,
Yeah.
Can fester and grow into hate.
Yeah.
And to me, like the way I kind of hear him is like being, I don't know, just to me, someone acting like that, just kind of being like goofy, being themselves. Like, you know, as someone who's as a neurodivergent, like someone, if I can act like that with someone, I can't do that shit in front of other people.
No.
I can only do that with my wife and someone who I feel like a safe space for me.
Mm.
And I'm trying to, the way I'm thinking about it is like, it's his safe space with her to be able to like act that way. And maybe the stress of like, again, finance is a very difficult field. And that's probably like something that he was like, all right, this is where I can disassociate with being a fucking finance person or like doing all that unnecessary shit. And maybe he just doesn't know how to regulate the way he acts sometimes towards his wife. But I do agree, not wanting to go to therapy is a dick move on his part. Maybe like the frequent conversations and maybe like the frequent, like, all right, maybe we need to set boundaries and act when maybe we can create a space together where like, all right, when you're getting on my nerves, you gotta be able to know the signs that I'm kind of getting annoyed of you type of shit. So hopefully they can talk it out more. But the beginning part, I know Sean said he didn't kind of see like the way, like, you know, doesn't sound like they hate him, but to me it's starting like she's starting to lose interest in him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Sean, we read it and Sean was like, this is just X after X.
Yeah.
So, I will say like that being his safe space doesn't, you know, mean he gets to trample over her needs as well.
Yeah. Cause my thing is like, John, you like to be goofy. If Juliet was like, hey, I don't love this one bit you're doing, it's kind of like, I'm starting to not love it. You know what I mean? I think you would probably be like, all right, I'm going to chill out on that bit.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm going to move to a different bit. I'm going to find something else that you think is funny that we both like. The fact that, you know, multiple talks and then not only the multiple talks to end it on being like rubbing it in her face again right before bed. I'm just like, yo.
Yeah. Yeah.
I take it one step further and maybe you can like the spouse can try to like, hey, maybe you should get tested to see if you are neurodivergent, just so you can understand, or he can understand himself better.
Well, that's what, like, even like that, it sounds like he's against going to therapy at all.
And that's the part that pisses me off about.
It's like, okay, your partner is asking for you to like make some concessions, like to just even go get like diagnosed with, or like talk to her with a professional. And it's just like, you're not even willing to do that. Why should I care either? Like that's, I feel this marriage is going downhill quickly,
for sure.
I think so too.
If he's not willing to cooperate.
I mean, it's like zero compromise on his part. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And Reddit deemed not the asshole. And there was a quick update here. So it's been several months since I posted this, so I thought I'd come back to update as requested. He eventually agreed to get checked out.
Nice.
Confirmed neurotypical and no other health concerns.
So he's just annoying as fuck.
Yeah. Yes. We were referred for marriage counseling and he won't go. I ended it and I'm slowly rebuilding my life.
Yeah.
Good.
Honestly, this post was just the tip of the iceberg and I'm exhausted but glad to be out. He also ended up really insulting our close friends and it all spiraled into complete hellfire. I'm sure it was when they found out he called them pig.
Pig and wig.
Yeah.
And God knows what other names there were. So yeah, OP, the marriage ended.
I feel like 99.99% of the stories that are like, yeah, and this person refuses therapy. That person is always the asshole.
Yes. Well, or at least like a more communication or like,
yeah.
If you don't want to do therapy, sure, but you got to be open to communicating with your partner more and you know, having like serious conversations with them.
Yeah, don't ever dismiss someone's feelings when they're saying they're bothered about something.
Exactly.
Especially your partner. That's insane.
Hit